Is Todd going to die? Todd is one of the characters in my novel, Emperor. I started serializing Emperor in August of 2025. I've published 50,000 words, which amounts to 4.5 listening hours. This is the part of the process of writing a novel for me where I take stock in where I am, where I'm going, and what are the possibilities for the characters up to this point. Um, when you start off with a blank slate, the possibilities are endless. Anything can happen. But once you actually have words on a page, you really start to shrink the possibilities. I mean, there are things that you can put in a novel, but some things are far more plausible than other things. The more of a history you have, the further along on the character arc, on the story arc for each character. Now, the way that I write is I usually start off with a skeleton outline, an outline with all the characters, with a general idea of what their story is all about, what their challenge is, what are they striving toward, what's getting in their way, and then a general, because I always have a lot of characters also, so a general arc for the overall novel. Since I write with events that have occurred within the last 5 to 10 years, I also have some idea of how the characters are going to react to different things. I mean, especially once I get to know the characters pretty well, I know this character will be upset, whereas that character might be pleased. And so I'm at the point after 50,000 words, 4.5 listening hours, I'm at the point in Emperor where my characters are just in situations that certain things just make sense. And once I actually get in there and start writing the scenes, working out the scenes, the scenes just kind of progress on its own. And Todd, as it happens, is one of my favorite characters. So one of the things about him that I really like is that he makes his living as a model. He's this guy. He's kind of freewheeling, does what he wants to do. That's very much what appeals to Irene about him, is that he's kind of doing his own thing and has a lot of freedom about it. And he's about to interact with another character, which I've mentioned in the novel in the last scene that I published. And you're about to meet him. His name is Brandon Dacos. He's Olympia's younger brother. One of the things that you find out in the novel is that Olympia and Irene are these two very, very privileged characters. I mean, they're essentially princesses, have been raised in a very cloistered environment, especially Irene. And so she interacted with other kids, but a very, very small number. Brandon was one of those kids that she interacted with every now and then, but Brandon's the kind of kid that everyone around him sort of knew that he had issues. Now, of course, his parents didn't exactly accept that, but all the other kids know that Brandon's crazy. So that's the reason why I asked the question. It's like, know that the way the story, I'd already planned for the story to go in such a way where Todd's going to wind up on an island with Brandon and Irene. And so there's going to be an altercation. The question is, and Brandon's, not only is he crazy, but he's also a really good fighter. So the question is whether Brandon will kill him, because for Brandon, that's actually no big deal. So it's just one of those situations where it's sort of a disturbing question. I remember when a lot of people got a lot of were giving J.R.R. Martin a lot of flack for killing off his characters. But I mean, hey, if the characters live in a dangerous world and they wound up in these dangerous situations, it's a lot more believable that they'd wind up dead than alive. So that's the thing. But I wanted to use this opportunity to talk a little bit about the writing process. As I mentioned, I usually start off with a skeleton outline. And after I have 50,000 words down, now I can actually write a much, much more detailed outline. And I've also got a lot of the scenes that I haven't published. I've also got those drafts of those scenes already written. And so they're in different levels of completion. Some will need a lot of work, a lot of contextualization. That's usually what I add last. Others will need far less contextualization. They're pretty much done. But I'm going to continue to publish each scene chronologically as the novel progresses. I'm not going to jump around adding like scene 23 and then scene 15 or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to give an update because for the next month or so, I'm going to go through this process of reviewing what I've already got, updating my skeleton outline, adding a lot of meat on the bone so that there's a lot more detail. It becomes a much more detailed outline to make sure that I don't miss anything. Not really so much to choreograph or to make the flow feel less organic, because that's the thing I really like is you put the characters in this situation and then you just have them interact. I really do like that, but still it's really easy to miss a lot of things. So that's what the detailed outline will include. I mean, especially a novel that already has 50,000 words and part one isn't even finished. There are 3 parts to this novel. And so I'm expecting it to be about 160 to 200,000 words long. Part 2 will include a lot of information related to how the United States of America goes from the way it is now to the way it opens in 26. So I'm looking forward to that. And then part 3 starts in 2046 and basically barrels toward the conclusion of what happens when all of these characters interact. So I just wanted to leave this video. I don't want to mention too many details. Those who have been listening to the recordings know who Todd is. They know about Irene. They know about the noble houses. They know where where scene 13 ends and what happens. Oh, but other than that, I want you to enjoy the novel, to enjoy listening to it. I don't want to have any spoilers in this video, but I do want to explain that that's where I am in terms of writing this novel.